Sofia Vergara recently did an interview as a newly single divorcee. She's been single for about a year and a half since her divorce from Joe Manganiello in 2023. And they asked her what she's looking for in the dating pool as a 52-year-old woman with a net worth of $180 million. And she said several normal standards. She wants someone who's in good health.
Let me guess, he needs to be funny.
Someone who loves her.
Does he have to be funny?
He has to be fun. That was another one. She would prefer someone handsome, someone taller than her. But this was really important to her. She said, I want somebody that has as much money as me or more, because if not, it's a nightmare and they end up resenting you. So I'm guessing she's saying that because she has experience dating men who don't have as much money as her and it didn't go well.
I mean, there is an argument to be made that, are we talking about like he works 9 to 5 at McDonald's, or are we talking guy like, because she's worth how much? She was worth like several $100 million.
180 is like
a paltry $180 million.
I don't know how she's
like
making rent.
Joe Manganiello is a successful actor. He's not hurting for money, but is the idea here supposed to be that like at a certain tax bracket it gets the cutoff where it's like he's only got 60 million and he's like, oh, I feel like such a layabout. Like,
well, this got picked up and tweeted out for engagement. And a lot of people were falling for the rage bait, saying like, here's one comment: 52 years old, ran through like a laundromat, but because she's rich, she thinks that men still value her. Meanwhile, she is gorgeous and looks half her age.
It's a cope.
And has access to a pool of men that most women could never access.
It's a huge cope.
I don't think she would have trouble dating someone who has just as much, if not more money than her, based on her social status.
I do, however, believe that at 52 with her net worth, that the chances of like the fairy tale everlasting love happening gets kind of shorter by the year.
Well, she's twice divorced now, so I don't know if she has much faith.
The track record
love.
isn't there.
But she also said that when she first got divorced in 2023, she was anxious because she's like, you know, I'm 52, I'm getting up there. Should I panic? And now she says she feels no pressure whatsoever to find someone and settle down. And she's just focused on having fun. And this was interesting. Her divorce had nothing to do with money. She said the reason behind her divorce in 2023 was because they disagreed about having kids. She says, Joe wanted to have kids and I didn't want to be an old mom. I feel like it's not fair to the baby. I'm almost in menopause. It's the natural way of things. So that was just something they didn't discuss before getting married.
Okay, so there's a lack of understanding of like time frames here. Like she got to 52 and he's like, like,
I think it's time.
Are we gonna do this? Or
well, they were. I guess like she was already in their late. No, so if she were 50 when they got divorced, they were together for 7 years. She was 43 when they got married. I guess that's okay. So you're not having kids.
Yes.
You could maybe
no,
like
they all
one.
freeze their eggs though.
And you can have a kid at that age, but it's going to be a high risk pregnancy. And the chances of success go down by the day.
But how is that not something you discuss prior to deciding that you're going to spend your life with this person? I don't understand.
She's worth $180 million.
They were too busy riding jet skis or something.
Yeah, you say yes to anything. I think she should, you know, the femcel wave is on the rise. I think she should just kind of tap into that.
Are the femcels enjoying their lives?
Well, they talk about it a lot, so
so they must.
Yeah, she should ride that wave. Be a smart play.
I'm just curious. Everybody knows that the net worth calculators are always unbelievably wrong.
Yeah.
But he's worth a mere $40 million.
Oh, he's a bum.
He's a freaking bum.
He might have been the homeless guy in Frederick you're talking about.
That guy is like, he's down and out.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know how he's making rent.
Maybe she was implying that she was seen as the breadwinner in their relationship and it caused issues.
Like, yeah, but did you star in True Blood? No, you didn't.
She had a very long career before she was discovered by like
Yes.
English speaking media before she was a celebrity in the US. She was also a news anchor, I believe.
I just love that she's like she's just like dunking on him for only being worth. She's like, oh, double-digit millionaire, huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you want, welfare?
It's just crazy because you'd think after a certain level of wealth, it's kind of all the same.
Well, and it
Like once you're in the tens or hundreds of millions net worth, does it really make a difference between the two of you?
I mean, here's the thing. To a guy, this is gonna sound really sexist. To a guy, probably not. To a girl, probably.
Yeah.
Really?
So true.
In the sense that that a woman is going to care more about a man's net worth than a guy is going to care about her net worth.
Okay,
Both
in
poor
that level of wealth, though, it's wild to think about having a net worth in the hundreds of millions and still thinking like, oh, I need to make sure I find a billionaire so we don't have relationship issues over money. Like, you're never going to think about money for the rest of your life.
No, they are, because what's going to happen, she's like, oh, you're thinking about opening a restaurant. I was thinking about, like, maybe going half on a baseball team, like not at $100 million, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like the implications are very different for a $40 million person, you know, for somebody worth $40 million. And the concerns that people in that tax bracket have are just very different than the ones that you or I are ever going to have. But it doesn't mean it's not going to cause fights. Right. Like,
I also like that the Business Insider was reporting this story.
Yeah.
Like this is hitting the shelves and on Wall Street.
They have so-called wealth psychologists weighing in, and one of them said many wealthy partners perceive that they're entitled to exert more control and say in the relationship about how money is spent. Is that unfair?
It's just the title's a non-starter. We asked 3 therapists what they think. Oh, so you asked 3 poor people what they think. Of course they're gonna have hot takes on this.
Yeah, and I imagine that it caused some arguments in the relationship, but probably not for the reasons that you or I would argue about money. It's not about whether you can afford the bills. You know, it's like, oh, you scratched up the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
We can only dream to have such
The
petty
index
problems.
fund goes down 3% and they're on the rocks.
I point that all the time. It's like, just because it's like when people talk about celebrities who die young and they're like, why would they be miserable? They have money. It's like human suffering and struggle can be relative in a lot of ways, at least mentally, which is like to you or I who want to know, it's like, how am I going to pay my bills? I want to start a family, all these things where you have to worry about money. That's your own psychological cross to bear. But for a rich person, they have their own that are just unique to them in their own tax bracket. That doesn't make any sense to us, but it doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to them.
Yeah.
So it requires a certain amount of like empathy.
Well,
to understand that their struggles may be different than ours.
Your
but it doesn't
basement
mean-
rises like as you ascend the ladder.
Yeah. That doesn't make them not annoying, and it does not make them, good people. But it's just to say that if it wasn't true, then a lot of actors wouldn't die young of drug overdoses. Okay,
so we know that a wealth gap can cause relationship issues, but what about a fame gap? What if, wealth aside, let's say that these two partners are equal, but one of them is famous and one of them isn't? Depends on if fame is the goal for that person. So Dolly Parton was married to a contract, like a contractor. He was like a construction foreman, basically, and he had no desire to be famous whatsoever, and she respected that. I believe he was also very successful. He wasn't Dolly Parton successful, but he ran a successful business, but wasn't a public figure. Now, if it's two people that are both in the spotlight and want to be in the spotlight, I guess that could affect it. But I don't know. Like Ryan Gosling's been married to, what's her name? Eva Mendes for a decade now or something like that. And she took a step back to take care of the family while he continued to work. And that didn't seem to bother her. At least seemingly it didn't seem to bother her. It bothered everyone else. Yeah, it bothered everybody else that it didn't bother her. Yeah. I guess it really depends. I think it's cool that they were able to navigate that like as a family without caring about people's stupid opinions about gender roles. Well, I mean, and also they got married before that conversation became as prevalent as it is on the internet now.
And Ryan Gosling is like, he has a lot of pressure. Every young man in America is on his back right now.
Yeah.
You need him to perform. So yeah,
Like-
Eva, take a step back. Ryan's got some work to do.
There's stuff to get made.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely for a famous woman to date a non-famous man in the same wealth
Kamala
status.
Harris.
Like, for instance, all of these actresses who end
Wait.
up dating producers or directors.
A
who are
lot
not
of
well-known.
actresses date producers
Yeah.
and directors.
Wealth, like men who have wealth but not fame.
That's the second marriage, by the way. The third marriage is to the investment banker, and that's when usually when it sticks. At least from my research.
Yeah,
that
we're
I've
not
seen.
talking about their starter marriages.
No, we're not talking about marriage 1 or 2, but usually by marriage 3, they've met some guy who works for
Like,
Lucky Charms Capital or
Yeah.
whatever. It was.
I couldn't tell you the name of Jennifer Lawrence's husband, but he finances films. And that they met through their own industry, and she is the famous of the two of them.
Yeah. And that's probably fine to her. Plus, a lot of people would talk about the fact that there is a certain level of power that comes from anonymity and wealth that's actually
Right.
more attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, that's better. So.
Or like Benny Blanco. People got so mad at me for
But he's
saying
not-
that
but he's
Benny
not,
Blanco isn't famous. Well, Selena Gomez is more famous than him.
She is more famous, but he is famous, and he's very relevant and influential in his industry.
Sure.
But
And
he's
otherwise, they
also-
wouldn't have met.
Correct. So, yeah, guys, so just check your bank accounts. If you're looking to take Sofia Vergara on a date, maybe you've got Raya. That's the app,
Yeah.
right? Raya.
Yeah, it's pretty
if
easy
you-
to get on Raya.
If you don't have $140 million in the bank, you might want to just hold off until you can, work on yourself. Lock in.
I've always wondered too, because Raya's famous people, right?
Yes.
Do you guys
But if
think
you're
we
not-
could get on Raya?
Well, this is what I was gonna say. I was like, if you're not in Los Angeles or New York, then it's probably like local celebrities. So you get on Raya around here, it's like a car salesman. You're like, yo, I'm in the ads. I'm Crazy Joe.
I mean,
I'm in the chicken costume.
I'm pretty sure
And that's
we,
like the hot
we
ticket.
have
Yes.
IMDb pages, so like I could probably try and get
on
on
Raya?
Raya. Like
Yeah.
I could do it.
There's got to be at least some person who's done like some type of investigative reporting on Raya, right?
If not, I will do it.
But like
I will
investigative
take one for
reporting,
the
like,
team.
oh my gosh, Jennifer Lawrence enjoys mimosas.
It's like she swiped right when I was wearing this outfit, and then I changed my profile.
Yeah.
And I put on a different outfit, and suddenly she swiped.
That would be good. You set up a fake profile, get all the celebrities like you, and then put like MAGA hats on and switch the pictures over, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.